everybody, Charles for HumbleMechanic.com. Today, I'm finally recapping the 2015 SEMA show. This is episode 115 of the Humble Mechanic Podcast. So if you are a car fan, I'm sure you have heard of the SEMA show in Las Vegas, Nevada. This takes place about the first weekend in November every year, and it is exactly the car show that you would think Las Vegas would have. If you've been to Vegas, you know that they do everything huge. Flashing lights, things everywhere, tons of stuff going on 24 hours a day, and it really sums up just what the SEMA show is really like. There's actually two big automotive events that are going on that week. One is the SEMA show, which is the crazy builds, the big, 30-inch wheels, cars jacked up to the ceiling, cars millimeters off the ground, and really cool stuff like that. And then there's the AAPEX show. That's where shops would, let's say, go and find new vendors for parts, discover new parts, new tools, new equipment, shop supplies, and things like that. They're two very different shows. Both are really cool and interesting to check out. And if you're in the automotive industry, I highly recommend that at some point you get to both of these shows. Let's start out with the AAPEX show. I was there with CRP. I was hanging out in their booth for the majority of the show, talking to other technicians, talking to shop owners, talking to company owners about all things automotive. It was actually a really awesome time. I met a ton of really cool people, met the folks from German Auto Parts, which was really neat. Got to see some familiar faces and the folks from VAGCOM, which was super cool. I got to meet a former dealer tech that just opened up his own shop working on Volkswagen and Audi. He was really awesome. It was cool to meet him and kind of hear his story about how he was a frustrated dealer technician. Him and a couple of other techs at the shop packed up, opened their own thing, and they've been kicking butt ever since. So it was really cool to get that story and a lot of other stories like that. The folks at CRP even made me this really cool banner, it's kind of weird for me to have a banner with my name on it, but that was really neat. They also had an incredible booth, displaying all their products, the ContiTech stuff, the Furtan stuff, which is a really neat rust inhibitor that I'll be doing a video on at some point. The Penison, they actually won an award for Penison and Furtan. They won an award for the Penison DSG fluid kit. I had a lot of input on them building that kit, so that was really neat. I also got to meet Bogey from All Girls Garage. Turns out she is a fan of the show, so you guys are in awesome company. Her and I even made it to the celebrity page in the Apex Express newsletter. I think we only made it to the celebrity page because of her and not me, which I'm totally fine with. It was really neat to meet her and talk shop with her for just a few minutes. One of the neatest things that I saw was a company that is actually rebuilding electronic power steering racks. And this is cool. They have this whole diagnostic setup. They can plug the steering rack in. They can do analysis on it. They can find points of failure. They can repair those points. And then they can actually test those repairs and test it and make sure that it's a good, viable product before it goes out into the market. They're working on Volkswagen Audi power steering racks as well as Mini Cooper electronic power steering pumps. So that was really neat. At the dealership, we take a power steering rack out, we put a new one in, and we send it off to who knows where. And it's cool to see what actually happens to these parts when they get remanufactured. And as more and more companies, more and more brands go to electronic power steering, companies like this are going to be more critical to do the reman end of it. So all in all, my time at the AAPEX show was incredibly cool. All the awesome people that I met. Thank you guys for coming by the booth and saying hi. Shout out to CRP for having me in the booth. It was really cool. Again, a great experience. All right, now let's move over to the SEMA side. This is where they do things big. The glitz, the glamour, the lights, the sounds, the revving of the engine. That's all the SEMA show. And again, the SEMA show is incredibly huge. People had told me, Charles, you're not going to believe how big the SEMA show is. And I've been to other car shows, I know what it's all about. And I get there and my eyes are like this big. It's insane. There were floors, that's right, floors of things that I never even got to see, despite the fact I spent 3 days at the SEMA show. So again, anything from big trucks to cool cars to products, guys doing airbrushing on paint, doing laser etching, CNCing, you name it, it was pretty much there. Even the manufacturers had great booths. Heck, Ford, I think, had probably one of the coolest manufacturer booth out there. They had a really cool Mustang, a Ford Edge. Everything I saw at the Ford booth, and I'm not a Ford guy, was really impressive. So good job, Ford, on that one. But there was so much to see, just the moment you focus on something cool, then you see something over here cool, then over here cool, and you realize you just spent 2.5 hours looking at stuff and missed something that was 1 foot from your face the entire time. You know, this panning shot right here does no justice of how big this show was, because this is only a small portion of one of the halls that the show was in. In fact, there was considerably more that I missed than what I saw. You know, talking with some friends that also went, we were talking, hey, did you see this? I'm like, no, never saw that. Hey, did you see this? Nope, I didn't see that. But there was some incredibly cool things, you know, this weird trike thing, Ludacris's Acura Legend, the NSX parked right next to it, super cool. And even if a lot of this stuff wasn't my thing, the appreciation for the build, the appreciation for the craftsmanship and the hard work that goes into these builds is really there. I respect all of these cars, even though they may not be my thing, it may not be my taste or my style. The work that went into them is absolutely incredible, and the technology that goes into them is very, very cool. I had an opportunity to interview my very good friend Eric the Car Guy, which was a blast. We had a really good time chit-chatting, but I've known Eric for a while now, and it was great to officially sit down and have a chat with him, learn a little bit more about how Eric the Car Guy got started, some things that people didn't know about Eric the Car Guy that you'll really only see on that interview, which is cool. And you know, he's doing really great things in the automotive YouTube world. He did a talk on making automotive videos, which was an incredible talk. It was great to see a room full of people, you know, learning what Eric had to teach him, some of the things that he's an absolute expert at, and trying to share his knowledge and share his wisdom on making videos and doing good things in the social media world to these people that, let's face it, there's a lot of people in the automotive industry that are way behind in the social media, you know, the digital world, so to say. And it was great to see so many people just soaking all of that information in. So be sure, I will link both videos. Be sure to check them both out, part 1 and part 2. It was a really good time. Again, always fun hanging out with Eric the Car Guy. In addition to hanging out with Eric, I had the pleasure of getting to meet Chris Fix, who is an incredibly awesome dude. He does great videos. All of his testing is top-notch. He really does an awesome job with his DIYs and his testing of products. Just randomly actually happened to bump into Chris. I was walking around SEMA, actually minutes after I shot that panning video, and bumped into him and Eric, who were chatting. And then along comes Jason, you know, seconds later even still. So we actually did all just kind of meet at that spot of this picture completely by chance. But then, you know, we had decided we're gonna go ahead and do some video work. We started a new channel. It's sort of a side project for the 4 of us. It's called Blown Heads. The videos, there's 2 videos out now, more to come. We're not really committing to any certain number of videos or any certain frequency. We're just kind of putting it out there because we had a great time doing it. So check out that channel, check out the videos that are up. The best thing you guys can do for us is let us know in the comments of those videos what you guys think and where you want us to go from here. You know, it's cool hanging out with other guys in that space because we all kind of have our own take on things, our own areas where we're really good, and that tends to complement each other. Plus, those guys are awesome, and it's a blast to hang around with them. So be sure to hop over there. There's links in the show notes, and check out those videos. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. That, I know, is a quick video about the incredible things that went on at the SEMA show. More than I can remember. A lot of it is me going through my phone, flipping and going, oh yeah, I remember seeing that, or oh yeah, I remember taking video of that. So again, if you are in the automotive industry or in the media, I absolutely recommend that you get to SEMA next year. It will be another incredible show. So I'm pumped about 2016 SEMA show. Thanks again to CRP for having me out, letting me hang out in the booth and talk to everybody. It was really cool. You guys were awesome. I really do appreciate it. And I'm going to wrap it up there. If you guys have any questions or comments, please post it in the comments section below and be nice in the comments. Hey, if you like the video, throw it a thumbs up on YouTube. I always appreciate that. You can also subscribe on YouTube or on the blog at humblemechanic.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the blog, and obviously here on YouTube. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. And one final shout out to my buddy Natalie. Thanks for hooking me up with the Tonka stuff. I really appreciate it.